Have you ever wondered if it's possible to love deeply without losing yourself in the process? Imagine a love that is pure, enduring, and unburdened by anxiety or fear. A love that does not cling, but instead empowers. This isn't some far-fetched fantasy. It's a practice rooted in the wisdom of Stoicism. In today's video, we're going to explore how you can cultivate love in your life without attachment, using timeless Stoic principles. Whether you're navigating romantic relationships, friendships, or familial bonds, these insights will help you maintain your inner peace while truly loving others. Welcome to Stoic Mindset. If you're new here, we dive deep into Stoic philosophy and how its timeless teachings can be applied to modern life. In today's episode, we're tackling a concept that might seem paradoxical at first: how to love without attachment. It's a challenging idea, especially in a world that often equates love with dependence, but the Stoics offer us a way to love in a healthier, more resilient way. So let's explore this together. To understand how to love without attachment, we first need to grasp the Stoic concept of love itself. The Stoics, particularly the Roman philosopher Seneca, believed in a kind of love that transcends the ego. This love isn't possessive or conditional. It's not about what you can gain from another person, but about what you can give. According to the Stoics, real love is rooted in the idea of philia, a deep friendship that's based on mutual respect and virtue. This form of love is not about clinging to the other person or depending on them for your happiness. Instead, it's about appreciating their virtues and encouraging them to be their best selves while you strive to do the same. In a Stoic relationship, love is seen as an expression of eudaimonia, the flourishing life. It's about helping each other grow in wisdom and virtue, supporting one another in the pursuit of a life well lived. This approach requires a level of emotional maturity and self-awareness that frees us from the chains of attachment. Before we dive into how to cultivate love without attachment, it's important to understand why attachment is problematic from a Stoic perspective. Attachment, as the Stoics saw it, is a form of dependency. When you're attached to someone, you start to rely on them for your happiness, validation, or sense of worth. This can lead to a whole host of negative emotions: fear of loss, jealousy, possessiveness, and even resentment. You may start to see the other person as an extension of yourself, rather than as an individual with their own will and purpose. Seneca wisely pointed out that we suffer more in imagination than in reality. Attachment feeds this imagination, creating scenarios in our minds where we lose the person we love, or they fail to meet our expectations. This not only causes unnecessary suffering, but also distorts the relationship itself. When we're attached, we're not fully loving the person for who they are. We're loving them for what they can give us. This isn't true love. It's a kind of emotional trade agreement, where affection is given in exchange for something else. And when that exchange is threatened, our sense of stability crumbles. Stoicism teaches that the only things we truly control are our own thoughts and actions. When we become attached, we hand over our emotional well-being to someone else, putting it at the mercy of their decisions, moods, and life circumstances. This makes us vulnerable to disappointment and suffering. So how do we cultivate love without attachment? The Stoics offer several key strategies that can help us navigate this complex emotional terrain. 1. Focus on your own virtue. The foundation of Stoic love is self-mastery. The Stoics believed that by focusing on our own virtue, our wisdom, courage, justice, and temperance, we become more capable of loving others in a healthy way. When we cultivate these virtues, we develop a strong sense of inner security that doesn't rely on external factors, including the behavior or presence of others. By striving to be the best version of yourself, You can love others without needing them to complete you. Your love becomes an expression of your own completeness rather than a desperate attempt to fill an internal void. 2. Practice non-attachment to outcomes. One of the core tenets of Stoicism is the idea of focusing on what we can control and letting go of what we can't. In relationships, this means accepting that you can't control the other person, their feelings, actions, or life choices. You can only control how you show up in the relationship. By practicing non-attachment to outcomes, you free yourself from the anxiety and fear that often accompany love. Instead of worrying about where the relationship is going or whether the other person will stay, you focus on being present and giving your best in each moment. This doesn't mean you don't care about the future, but rather that you don't let it dictate your happiness in the present. 3. Embrace the impermanence of life. The Stoics often reflected on the transient nature of life. Marcus Aurelius, in his Meditations, frequently reminded himself that everything we love is subject to change and decay. This isn't a morbid thought. It's a reminder to appreciate what we have while we have it. In relationships, embracing impermanence allows you to love more fully. When you accept that nothing lasts forever, you're less likely to cling to the other person out of fear of losing them. Instead, you cherish the time you have together, knowing that it's a gift, not a guarantee. This mindset shifts your focus from possession to appreciation. You stop trying to hold on to the other person and instead focus on creating meaningful experiences and memories together. This not only deepens your love, but also makes it more resilient to life's inevitable changes. 4. Cultivate gratitude. Gratitude is a powerful antidote to attachment. When you're grateful for the people in your life, you're less likely to take them for granted or to become overly attached to them. Gratitude shifts your focus from what you might lose to what you currently have, fostering a sense of abundance rather than scarcity. In Stoicism, gratitude is a daily practice. The Stoics would reflect each day on what they were thankful for, including the relationships in their lives. This practice helps you keep a balanced perspective, appreciating the love you have without becoming overly dependent on it. By regularly practicing gratitude, you train your mind to focus on the positives in your relationships, reducing the fear and anxiety that often accompany attachment. You learn to appreciate the other person for who they are, rather than what they can do for you. 5. See others as fellow travelers. The Stoics believed that we are all interconnected, part of the same human family. This perspective can help you cultivate a sense of compassion and understanding in your relationships, seeing others not as objects of your desire, but as fellow travelers on the journey of life. When you view your loved ones this way, you're less likely to become attached to them in an unhealthy way. You recognize that they have their own paths to walk, their own challenges to face, and their own destinies to fulfill. Your role in their life is to support and encourage them, not to control or possess them. This mindset fosters a deep, unconditional love that respects the other person's individuality and autonomy. You learn to love them for who they are, without needing them to be anything else. 6. Practice detachment, not indifference. It's important to clarify that Stoic detachment is not the same as indifference. Detachment in the Stoic sense means not allowing your peace of mind to depend on external factors, including relationships. It doesn't mean you don't care about the people you love. It means you don't base your happiness solely on their presence or behavior. You can still care deeply for someone while practicing detachment. In fact, detachment can make your love stronger and more genuine because it's not clouded by neediness or fear. When you're not attached, you're able to love more freely and fully without the constant worry of losing the other person. This kind of love is liberating for both you and the other person. It allows them to be themselves, without feeling pressured to meet your expectations or to fill a role in your life. And it allows you to maintain your inner peace, no matter what happens in the relationship. 7. Reflect on the role of amor fati. One of the most powerful Stoic concepts is amor fati. Amor fati is a Latin phrase that may be translated as love of fate or love of one's fate. This idea encourages us to embrace whatever happens in life, including the outcomes of our relationships, as necessary and good. By loving our fate, we accept life's ups and downs with grace, knowing that everything that happens is part of a larger, unfolding plan. In relationships, amor fati helps you accept whatever happens, whether it's the deepening of love or the end of a relationship. It frees you from the need to control the other person or the outcome of the relationship, allowing you to love them without attachment. This doesn't mean you passively accept everything that happens, but rather that you find peace in the knowledge that whatever happens is ultimately for the best. Amor fati helps you let go of the need to cling, freeing you to love with an open heart. Applying Stoic love in real life. So how can you apply these Stoic principles to your daily life? Let's look at some practical steps you can take to cultivate love without attachment in your relationships. 1. Daily reflection. Set aside time each day to reflect on your relationships. This can be a few minutes in the morning, during a quiet moment in the day, or as part of your evening routine. Reflection is a powerful tool in Stoicism, allowing you to examine your thoughts, emotions, and actions with clarity. During this reflection, consider the following questions. Am I loving the other person for who they truly are, or am I projecting my desires and expectations onto them? Reflect on whether your affection is grounded in genuine appreciation of their character, or if it's based on what they provide you emotionally or materially. How do I respond when they don't meet my expectations? Pay attention to feelings of disappointment, frustration, or resentment that may arise when the other person doesn't act as you hoped. These emotions can be indicators of attachment rather than pure love. Am I nurturing my own virtues? Use this time to assess whether you are cultivating virtues like patience, kindness, and understanding in your relationships. Reflect on how your behavior aligns with Stoic values and consider what you can do to strengthen your virtue in interactions with others. What am I grateful for in this relationship? Practicing gratitude during your reflection can shift your mindset from focusing on what might be lacking to appreciating the positives. This helps reduce attachment by fostering a sense of abundance and contentment with what you have. Consider keeping a journal to document your reflections. Writing down your thoughts can help clarify your emotions and track your progress over time. This practice not only deepens your understanding of your relationships, but also enhances your self-awareness and emotional resilience. 2. Mindful communication. In your interactions, practice mindful communication. Mindful communication involves being fully present in conversations, listening with intention, and responding thoughtfully rather than reactively. It's about engaging with others in a way that is both compassionate and clear, without letting attachment or fear dictate your words or actions. Here are some ways to practice mindful communication. Active listening. When someone is speaking to you, focus entirely on what they are saying without planning your response or letting your mind wander. This shows respect and ensures that you understand their perspective fully. It also prevents miscommunication, which can often be fueled by attachment and assumptions. Pause before responding. Before responding to a conversation, especially in emotionally charged situations, take a moment to pause and breathe. This brief pause helps you gather your thoughts, consider the other person's perspective, and respond in a way that aligns with your values, rather than reacting out of attachment-driven emotions like anger or fear. Speak honestly and kindly. When you communicate, be honest but also considerate. Stoicism encourages us to speak truthfully, but also to avoid unnecessary harm. If you need to address a concern or issue, do so with kindness and respect, ensuring that your words are guided by virtue rather than attachment. Set boundaries with compassion. In relationships, it's important to set boundaries that protect your well-being and maintain your peace of mind. When setting boundaries, communicate them clearly and with compassion, explaining your needs without blaming or accusing the other person. This helps preserve the integrity of the relationship while also preventing the development of unhealthy attachment. Mindful communication not only strengthens your relationships, but also helps you maintain your own emotional balance. By staying present and grounded in your interactions, you can navigate relationships with more ease and less attachment. 3. Embrace solitude. Spend time alone to strengthen your sense of self. Solitude is not about isolation. It's about intentionally creating space to connect with yourself, recharge, and gain clarity. It's in these moments of solitude that you can truly explore your inner world, understand your desires and fears, and cultivate a deeper sense of independence. Meditation and mindfulness practices. Engage in daily meditation or mindfulness exercises to center yourself and connect with your inner thoughts and feelings. Meditation helps you observe your emotions without attachment, fostering a sense of peace and equanimity. Through regular practice, you become more attuned to your own needs and less reliant on others for validation or comfort. Engage in personal hobbies. Pursue hobbies and interests that are meaningful to you, whether it's reading, writing, painting, hiking, or any other activity that brings you joy. These pursuits allow you to cultivate a rich inner life that isn't dependent on external relationships. This not only strengthens your self-identity, but also reduces the likelihood of becoming overly attached to others for fulfillment. Self-reflection. Journals. Use solitude to engage in deep self-reflection through journaling. Write about your experiences, thoughts, and emotions, particularly in relation to your relationships. This practice can help you identify patterns of attachment and work through them constructively. Journaling also provides a safe space to explore your fears, desires, and aspirations without external influence. Contemplate the bigger picture. Spend time in solitude, contemplating the impermanence of life and the nature of human connections. Reflect on the Stoic idea that everything in life is fleeting, including relationships. This contemplation helps you appreciate the present moment and the people in your life without becoming attached to the idea of permanence. Practice self-compassion. Use solitude to practice self-compassion. Recognize that it's okay to need time alone to process your emotions and thoughts. Treat yourself with the same kindness and understanding that you would offer a loved one. This self-compassion strengthens your inner resilience and reduces the need to seek constant external validation. Solitude is essential for personal growth and emotional health. By embracing it, you not only enhance your relationship with yourself, but also bring more balance and harmony to your relationships with others. It allows you to love freely and deeply without the constraints of attachment. 4. Practice letting go regularly. Practice letting go of small attachments in your daily life. This could be as simple as letting go of a desire for a particular outcome at work or releasing a minor irritation in a relationship. Over time, this practice builds your capacity to let go of larger attachments, including those in your relationships. 5. Reframe challenges as opportunities. When you encounter challenges in your relationships, reframe them as opportunities to practice Stoic principles. Whether it's dealing with conflict, coping with change, or facing the end of a relationship, view these situations as chances to deepen your understanding of love without attachment. Loving without attachment is not about suppressing your emotions or becoming detached from the people in your life. It's about cultivating a deep, unconditional love that is free from the fears and anxieties that attachment often brings. By applying Stoic principles, you can build relationships that are both resilient and enriching, where love is an expression of your inner strength, not a source of dependence. Remember, the goal isn't to avoid love, but to love more deeply and wisely. Through self-mastery, gratitude, and acceptance of life's impermanence, you can create a love that is both profound and liberating, a love that empowers you and those around you. If you found this video helpful, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share it with others who might benefit from these insights. Let's continue our journey together on the Stoic path to a fulfilling life. Thank you for watching, and until next time, stay mindful and keep striving for wisdom.